Alright guys, what is up? Welcome to our new series, Mindustry, with LD7. In this one, we are basically going to be taking a look at this cool new game that I found, Mindustry. It's available on Steam. I've got a link to it in the description. Be sure to check it out. Kind of the general idea of this one is it's kind of like a tower defense game, but you also have to gather resources and kind of progress through various levels, tech trees, all that kind of stuff. So it takes the funness of like Bloons Tower Defense and add some substance to it. So in my mind, I think it's pretty good. I've made it, like I played a little bit just to test it out before I decided to start the series, just to make sure that, you know, it's fun to play and all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, I maybe got through like 4 or 5 levels and did a little bit of the tech tree, and I gotta say the time that I played thus far has been super enjoyable. So if you're looking for a good game that's chill, low-key, and a little bit different than kind of what's out there, Mindustry is a great option. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Hit play, campaign, and these are going to be all the levels that we are going to try to unlock throughout the game. So kind of the way you unlock levels, you pick the one that's open. So right now we only have ground 0, and you have to get to a specific wave. So we have to get to wave 20 in this first map to unlock this one, and we need a combustion generator. This one we just have to reach wave 10 and unlock the router technology. So sometimes these levels are locked just by reaching a specific wave in the map that comes before it, and sometimes you have to reach a wave and get a technology. As far as the techs go, this is the tech tree. It does get way more sophisticated than just this. We just haven't unlocked anything yet. You need to gather resources in order to unlock these at specific wave numbers. On the various maps, you'll be able to do what's called a launch, and that takes all the resources you've gathered and puts you back out here so you can unlock techs, uncover new areas, and so forth. But that's enough explanation of kind of how the general mechanics work. Let's go ahead and launch in and show you how this game actually goes. So I don't know if the... Okay, it doesn't look like the tutorial is going to start, which is fine. I don't really need it because I've played before. If it is your first time, though, they do have like a little tutorial that comes through and kind of explains what you're supposed to do. So, in essence, you're this little drone guy. Here, we'll pause. So you're this little flying around dude. You can build stuff, you can shoot, and the goal is to make sure that this core right here doesn't lose all of its health. This little timer here, the wave timer, we're on wave 1. We've got 3 minutes before they start sending enemies, and then they have to come walk down here to try to attack us. So basically the way this works, the goal is to build defenses and collect enough resources to be able to, you know, build whatever it is, and make sure you don't lose your core. So what I like to do when I first load in is I pause the game. That way I don't lose this time while I'm planning out where I want to put my drills and conveyor belts and stuff. The way you pause, you just push space. That's the default key anyway. I'm sure you can change it if you want to. Next, you know, you've got 3 categories when you start off. You've got conveyor belts, you've got drills, and you've got turrets. So kind of the idea is you want to gather resources, obviously, because that's how you are going to be able to build more stuff, more or less. So I'm just trying to figure out what's going to be the best way. I think I can set these like that if I leave an opening here, like this. And what I'm doing is I want to kind of increase my base production. That way I can, you know, start building up more copper and things like that. So the way you do that, you build these drills over the ore resources. So this is copper ore, as you can see. So these drills will harvest copper. If we put this guy right here, it'll tell you what the drill speed is. So we're going to gather 0.37 copper per second with this one drill, and each of these are roughly the same. It does depend on how many of the little blocks are underneath it. 3.7 is when you have 4. I think it goes to 2.8 if you have 3. And if it's less than 3, it probably isn't even worth putting the drill there. Anyway, let's go ahead and just get our conveyors kind of set up here. I don't know. It's not always the easiest because you kind of want to manage the flow a little bit, and I'm going to have to break some of these because this has to be able to feed. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna leave these drills that I've got going in to the center here to gather resources, and then once we gather some more copper, we will go ahead and start building some more drills and turrets to kind of defend our base. So it does take time. We burned through all of our copper. That's why we were able to build these drills so fast. These are inputting copper. So once it finishes this conveyor belt, we're going to start getting a bunch more copper per second, as you can see. So yeah, it's going to finish all the conveyors first. That's actually the best way to do it. That way, once the drills start producing, you know, things actually go to where they're supposed to. I actually want to move this up like this. That way, we're not trying to push all of the ore through the same spot. And I think I'm going to do the same with these. So let's try that. So we've got 6 kind of feeding through here. We've got 3 and 4. So that's actually pretty good. The next piece is going to be, let's get some turrets set up so we can defend the base. Since we don't have routers unlocked yet, we don't have a way to split like this belt to put another turret off of it. But typically speaking, I normally try to run 2 turrets off of each drill that I've got. So that's kind of how I do it. You can get away with more, I will say. So it just depends on, you know, how much you know, resources you want to have for your drills. Once it fills up, unless the drill is like, or unless the turret's constantly shooting, like these belts will just get full and it'll be fine. I did want to show off the junction here. So if you have tracks that are crossing, if you put the junction down, what this does is it basically says if they're moving on this belt, it'll keep moving in that direction. If it's moving in this direction, it'll keep moving through. So that's what the junction does. We'll put a couple turrets there, obviously, on the end of these belts, but I want to get this last belt through, and I think we are going to just bring it across like this. Maybe not. Let me do this. Cool. Oh, I did want to mention, so you can break the terrain in this game, if you want. It's only specific terrain, so like these rocks you can break, but I can't break like this wall. Anyway, so let's see. I kind of want to have one in the center, I think. So we'll have one there, we'll have one there, and we'll bring this one over, put him there, and I am actually going to break that down and put another line up so we can... Actually, we're going to leave that one where it's at. We'll move it up 1 space, and then this guy is going to be our like secondary in the middle. So this is kind of how I like to set up my turrets on the first time. Like I said, you know, once you have routers unlocked, you can split the belt, so as opposed to only having 4 turrets, we'd have 8. But anyway, it's okay. We're going to go ahead and let this kind of tick over, because the game clock does have to run in order for the resources to be produced and fill these up. But these will slowly get ammo. We only have 1 turret type, but these are the ammos it can take. When we unlock the next turret type, which we should be able to do once we launch, we'll be able to basically upgrade and unlock more turrets and stuff. So this is kind of how you, well, this is a potential way to start, I guess, for the first playthrough on the first level. So yeah, we're just going to let this tick over. If I hit this button, it will send the enemies, so you get this little reticle telling you which direction they are. You can fly all the way up here and, you know, shoot at them. They will shoot back, so be careful, otherwise you might get destroyed. But that, in a nutshell, is kind of how the first wave of Mindustry goes. Each successive wave, they send more enemies, it gets a little harder. But yeah, so that's the first episode, kind of giving you an idea of Mindustry. In the next one, we're going to go ahead and continue on with the waves and everything, kind of show you uncovering, researching, all that good stuff. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe as always, and until next time, this has been LD7, and we will see ya.